The Rangers are playing good hockey. Ranger fans like Tyler, and if everybody doesn't listen to our Sports Loudmouth show, just check it out on Wednesdays and Thursdays at 9 p.m. on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network, and you would see why this guy thinks that the Rangers are God's gift to the world. But the Rangers are playing great hockey. Maybe they're getting the defense of Gerard Gallant. Maybe the players are buying in to what this team is all about or what this team is going to be moving forward. They also have had a pretty easy schedule.
Middle-tier teams.
Yeah.
Stars, Maple Leafs, Montreal, and Nashville recently.
Nashville's going to stink this year. The Maple Leafs, to me, are one of the most overrated teams in the league that have no defense.
Always are.
Dallas,
who's
old,
pretty good, not great.
And they're an old team. And Montreal, they did make it to the finals last year. Does anybody think they're going to go there this year?
That'd be
no.
insane, but not happening.
It's not going to happen. These 4 teams that they played against are winnable teams that they should beat or even compete against. Ranger fans should be happy. This team is playing good hockey. They're 3-2. And they're in second place in the Metropolitan Division. But with what the Rangers are doing right now, they got to keep playing like this. And in the last 4 games, has Panarin done anything? Has he been at the top of his game? Everybody keeps talking about what Panarin is and what he's going to be. And they put him with the young guys. They put him with Lafreniere and Kakko, which very interesting on how Gallant is putting this team together.
Yeah, the overtime goal. That's his only goal of the season, to beat Toronto, and then 2 assists beyond that.
All right, so he's got almost a point a game. That's good. Panarin's playing good hockey. Zibanejad always starts off slow.
He's fast this year, 5 points already, a goal, 4 assists.
I think he's the best player.
It's good to see, though, he started fast, because you're right, he is notoriously a slow starter.
He is a slow starter. I think the Rangers are going to be a lot better than people think. I do believe they're going to be a playoff team this year. I think they'll be a 7th or 8th seed in the Eastern Conference, but they're going to be a playoff team. And I think they could be dangerous in the playoffs because of some of the players that they have, if they can score in the playoffs. But I think Ranger fans should be excited. They should be happy. They have a top-notch offensive goal scorer. They got a 2-way player like Zibanejad that can do everything. And they got one of the best young defensemen in the NHL. The other players, we don't know what they are. Lafreniere, we don't know who he is. Kakko, he better open up his eyes and do something this year, because if he don't, he's going to be gone.
Playing with Panarin will help, hopefully.
Has it helped him yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
It's helped Lafreniere, though. He has 2 goals already.
Yeah, well, I think Lafreniere will score goals. I think Lafreniere will get 20, 25 goals this year. I don't think Kakko will. Kakko, I think, needs to go to a smaller city. He needs to go to a team that fits what he does well. I don't think the Rangers are that team. Gallant is a defensive-minded coach. Kakko is an offensive guy. He needs to go to a team that preaches offense and is going to give him the open opportunity to play with a good offensive player that's going to set him up and put him in position to score. I don't think he's there. And now Panarin's a great goal scorer. I just think what this team is and how they set up the 5-on-5. I don't know if this is Kakko's offense.
Yeah, this is a big year just to make sure that he can at least produce when playing with other top players. Playing with Panarin, who's mostly a winger, but he's a great passing winger. He's played center at times. Will definitely help him out in terms of getting good looks on the net, high quality. Now, kind of like what you've been saying with Barzal, he's had some stretches where he doesn't want to shoot when he can shoot, and he wasn't like that when he was a prospect. He always wanted to shoot. He was encouraged by that, and he's kind of had confidence issues as a result, too. And Lafreniere had that to an extent, too, last year, but he got it going in the second half, and it seems to carry over so far. I think that'll end up being something that Kakko has to look at and say, all right, now that Panarin's on my line, I'm not going to get as much attention. Let's shoot more and get the confidence up. I think that's going to be a big key for them, because this is the big year that you're looking at, third year, that you want to see a player of that much upside step up, and he still hasn't done it yet. No points yet on the season. He's a -1 rating, doing nothing right now. Whereas Lafreniere, you definitely have seen the leap carrying over from the second half of the season when he started to play third line, second line time, and now he's getting that kind of ice time as well this year.
I think it's going to be very interesting on how this Ranger team plays in a progressive season where they start to play the good teams, the talented teams. Tampa's not playing well.
No.
I wouldn't worry about that. I think they'll figure it out. They're pretty talented.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Vasilevsky. I saw he allowed 6 goals against the Red Wings. It's the Red Wings.
I understand that. I think Vasilevsky is going to figure it out.
He will. I'm just saying. It's uncharacteristic.
Nobody thinks that this team is not going to find a way to win.
Yeah, even if they're second in that division,
they'll win the division. They'll go on a 9-game winning streak or a 7-game winning streak where it's going to be very hard to beat them. And I think that about the Islanders, too, and that's what I want to get into. I've been reading a lot of things on social media. and it's disturbing. Islander fans should be backing up their team, not throwing people under the bus. Sorokin played a very fantastic game, 39 saves, almost had a shutout, but Islander fans have been croaking and attacking him throughout this season already in 4 games. They're attacking this offense, which they should. This offense hasn't played well. What line has played for a significant amount of time together? Even the Brock Nelson line, which was the same line that scored all those goals in the playoffs last year and the year before that, this is the first time for a full season they're together. It's going to take a while for that line to figure it out. JP Pajot, he's playing with Parise. Zach Parise has never played on the Islanders. He's never played in Barry Trotz's offense. It will take a while for him to figure that out with a young player like Oliver Wahlstrom, who's playing good hockey. Yeah. Who's probably going to move up to the first line one way or another. They're going to put Wahlstrom on that line, and they're going to move Palmieri to the Parise line because he played well with JP Pajot last year. And the fourth line, Matty Martin just came back. He still needs to get his feet wet. He's been dealing with injuries all off season. This is the best fourth line in hockey. But I'm going to tell you this right now. This defense, have they played great so far this year? No. Will this defense figure it out? Yes. They're going to go on a tear one way or another where they're going to have 2 shutouts in 3 games or 4 games, and their goals against average is going to shoot down.
It just seems like they're a little passive, too, which is weird for them in Barry Trotz's system, too. Even the forwards, too. They're fundamentally sound. They're fast. Even the older guys, they're still kind of fast for their age, and it just seems like they're not playing with the same level of hits and just overall intensity, and it's very, very bizarre for a Barry Trotz system defensively.
I think they're going to be fine. Zdeno Chara, this is his first time with Barry Trotz. He's a good defenseman. He will figure it out. This team, one way or another, will be an elite team in this league. It's just going to take a little while.
Yeah, and they've had big streaks in both ways last year. Bad losing streaks, which is why they fell to the 4 seed instead of being a 3, and then they had big winning streaks like they did in the playoffs, like they did right before that. They're kind of like the Yankees were this year. They had all these big winning streaks, then they would fall apart again. The Yankees had that insane 15-game winning streak and then stumbled at the end of the All-Star break, then they came back strong. The Islanders are kind of the same way last year, and maybe this is just the one cold stretch they'll have, and then they'll get, like you were saying with the Lightning, they'll get their 8 wins.
Well, the Islanders' schedule, remember, the Islanders are going to play a lot of away games because of their new stadium. They're going to play a couple of games in new stadium, but it's still getting built. It's still not fully done. So their schedule, they're going to be playing 15 games on the road in the first month. They're playing more games on the road than any team in hockey. And then next month, they're going to be playing a lot of games at home. So who do you think has the advantage next month? The Islanders are going to go on a tear in the second month of hockey. They're going to have Varlamov back. This is going to be a different team.
I guess it's better to have it now, too, than later in the season if they had to, weather the storm with the stadium. Obviously, circumstances, but still, you'd rather not have the kind of massive road trip.
They win tomorrow, they pass the Philadelphia Flyers. If they win their next game after that, tied in first. Now, I don't know if Washington's going to lose a game. I don't know if the Rangers are going to lose a game in their next 2 games. They're playing the Senators next game, which are actually playing good hockey.
Yeah, they have. I've actually been very impressed with them so far.
I still think the Rangers could beat them, but they're going to Ottawa. So the advantage goes to them. And then they're playing Calgary, who's 1-1-1, who's a young team. Last year did not play well. I think they're going to be a different team.
They've always been an every other year type team. Anyway.
Rangers have problems with them anyways because they're fast.
The Flames are always every other year anyway, so I expect them to bounce back too.
I think the Rangers can win both of those games. The Rangers' schedule is fairly easy in the beginning of the season. Just think about it. They play the Blue Jackets after that. That's going to be a hard game. They play the Krakens after that. They play Vancouver, who's playing.
They played very well.
Yeah, they're 2-2, but
really?
They're all right. They play Calgary again. They play the Oilers.
Oh, Canada road trip, yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
The Oilers are good. They're 4-0. That'll be a good game. That'll be a big test for the Rangers. And then they play Calgary again, Florida, which is a good team, the Columbus Blue Jackets, and then they play the Devils, who are 2-0. The Devils are playing.
Devils are starting really strong.
Montreal's 0-4, so, and then they play Toronto again. I mean, it's back Ottawa, Buffalo. Buffalo's going to fall apart.
Yeah,
and
then they have their 1 month, they're good, and then they'll fall.
And then they play the Islanders. I believe by the time the Rangers play the Islanders, November 24th, the day before Thanksgiving, I believe that they will be both very close to one another, and whoever wins that game is going to surpass one or the other. I do believe that the Islanders will go on a winning streak where they'll win 4 games or 5 games in a row. And Varlamov is almost on his way back. And when Varlamov comes back with Sorokin, I think this is a lot of pressure on Sorokin. He's still a very young goaltender. I think he's great. I think he's a fantastic goalie. You saw what he did the other day. He's fantastic. But he has these duds. He has these games where it's banging off the other people or deflecting, and he's had problems with the rebounds. But I think that takes time to figure it out in the NHL. It's not the KHL where the ice is bigger and the speed is different. The Islanders are not what you see them to be. They're a lot better than you think they are. And when they figure it out, Islander fans can shut their mouths because I'm tired of listening to it. It's garbage. It's gibberish that doesn't make sense.